Hello, what ails you? Seasonings. By now, you all have seen my hair. It's lovely. I didn't always like it. People say, oh, it's so pretty. I never said it wasn't. I have had gray hair since I was 10. And as I grew, as I aged, I was able to hide it. It started right in the center. Not a big deal. I was able to hide it, cover it. I had the thickest, prettiest, my hair was gorgeous. I've had long hair. I've had short hair. I can do both when I want to. I don't like to be forced. Being forced to cut your hair versus cutting your hair when you want to can be very traumatic. People are like, oh, it's just hair. It is. But like everything else, when you have more control over it, you're able to accept it better. I couldn't control my gray hair, so therefore it was hard for me to accept. And when people talk about natural hair, they're talking about, as I have experienced it, they're talking about the texture. This is my natural hair. It is my natural color. And it took me a long time to come to terms. Again, my recovery Bible, God grant me to the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And it took me a while to become wise to realize that I could not change this. Technically, I can, because I can dye it. But if you know anything about gray hair, oddly enough, it is the lack of pigment. So, how ironic. Black people lacking pigment. So, it was a journey. And there were some stages of grief, bargaining, and anger, and depression, and denial, and then finally acceptance. And what I've learned is that when you accept something about yourself and you become confident in it, people feel some type of way. I distinctly remember, and I told this story to one other person, I believe, and she was upset about it too. I was at a conference and someone said to me, I was like, who is this person coming in here with this gray hair with all this confidence? And I said to myself, excuse me, well, am I supposed to lack confidence because I have gray hair? See, because here's the thing. Someone told me, unsolicited, and that's the other thing. Gray hair gets you a lot of unsolicited comments, good and bad. And someone told me that I was a beautiful walking contradiction because my hair and my face technically didn't match. And I get that a lot. I've been in the store and the cashier, an older lady, said, you don't look old enough to have gray hair. And I'm thinking, and yet here I stand. What would you like for me to do? And so that hormonal imbalance does kind of speed up the process a little bit. Yes, some of it is genetics. My grandmother, my dad's mother, I'm always team, people be like, team mom, team dad, team dad. So she went very early, and I believe her mother. So it's a part of me, but it was definitely a journey, and it is definitely something that is not, when you go as young as I did, and it wasn't cute. It didn't come in cute. So again, it started here. And then by the time I was in my late 20s, it started here. And if you know anything about gray hair, it's like those kids with the silver caps on their teeth. It's unruly. And so it's sometimes it's thin and brittle, and it takes a special type of care, and it's a lot of work. It can be a lot of work. And so I like it. I don't love it because it's not how I want it. If it's gonna go gray, then go ahead and go. I don't like the mixture. Salt and pepper. Seasonings. It's for food, not for my hair. That's me. And again, people say, oh, it's so pretty. I never said it wasn't. It's just not what I want. I don't mind it. But if it's going, go all the way. I don't want any semblance, resemblance, residuals left. I don't want the mixture. It's not what I want. And so people try to guess your age, put you in a box. I've never shied away from age, never shied away from gray. But because I'm funny, you know, when people ask, most of the time when people ask how old you are, and depending on, for people like me, it's akin to asking someone, what do you do? Pardon me. And so it's a way to determine how much respect they're going to give you, or if they're going to try in some way belittle you, or whatever the case may be. You got to be quick about it if you're going to do it. But nothing's a secret. Nothing is a secret. But my whole theory about information is, what are you going to do with it? Once someone tells you something, what are you going to do with it? Of all the things that you could have rolling around in your brain, you're going to allow that to take up space. What are you going to do with it? So, if your hormonal imbalance, peri, pause, whatever you want to call it, has you seeing a few more grays, which some of my friends, they talk about, oh, look, I have gray hair. Please don't. You will never, ever, if anyone ever, when they talk to me about having gray hair, there will never, ever be any sympathy from this direction here. Ever. Never, ever. I've been battling this since I was 10. Please get out my face. And it doesn't stop there. When you have hormonal imbalance, you will get gray hairs down here, here. You find them in the car. My advice, to keep some tweezers in the car, because there's nothing like that fold down mirror with the sunlight. Trust me, I know. So if you like your seasonings, that's great. My advice is go through your 5 stages, because I went through my 5 stages. My dermatologist, bless his heart, he entertained all my shenanigans. Because I started to get it started here, and it didn't come out in all pretty. It started here. And I was getting my hair done one day, and the beautician said, "Oh, you have a halo. It's so pretty." And I said, "Well, could I get it when I actually need it? I don't think I need it now." And so went to the doctor, and he said, "Well, what's wrong?" And I said, "My hair is turning gray." And I'm parting it and showing him and around here, and he's looking. And and I also had seborrheic dermatitis, and so that also, with the gray hair, nightmare. But resolved that myself too. Whole other, I'm going to try some things. I am going to try some things, and when I find something that works, I stick with it. So I fixed my own seborrheic dermatitis, because with a little help from him, with a little help from my dermatologist. But the gray hair, he said, "Well, what do you want me to do?" And I said, "Change it back." And he said, "Well, that's why it's called premature at that time." I still think it's premature, but it's part genetics. So I have some other things coming. And so once they come, I'll share them with you, and you can go along with me to see how it works, if it works, or if it's just not the thread I need to help me mend my soul.